Hello and welcome back to the Polkadot CodeCamps. My name is Tin and today we're gonna cover like EVM on Polkadot. We're gonna work through like toolings and development setups, hands-on development environment setup and EVM deployments, and we're gonna cover everything that you need like to build like on Polkadot hubs to like EVMs. So the workshop objective cover like by the end of the workshop you will understand like dual VM architectures on Polkadot, set up complete like development environment, configure DevContainer, Foundry and Hardhat, deploy your first smart contract, use Scaffold DOT for the rapid development. Then let's understanding like dual VMs architecture. What is like the virtual machines? So the virtual machines is allow like the blockchain to execute a smart contract code, provide isolated environments, ensure like deterministic executions, and manage state and cache of the blockchain. So in the traditional blockchain, we have the blockchains connect to like one single VM, like EVM or like WebAssembly, then a smart contract. Then execute the smart contract. For like Polkadot Hub dual VMs, we have like Polkadot Hub on asset hubs. Then like palette revise, share infrastructures at like for REVM and Polka VMs. All these like connect to the palette revise. Palette revise is on top of the in like the runtime module as the runtime module of the Polkadot hubs. And all these are like secured by Polkadot Relay Change. So for the Polkadot Hub dual VM strategy, we have the REVM primary production ready. So like 100% like EVM compatible Rust implementations, Power Foundry and Red battle tested, launched on December 2025 on Polkadot Hub, and like all Ethereum toolings works like Hardhat Foundry Remix and deploy Solidity contract on Change. Now for Polka VMs, with the filters, we have like a register-based RSC5 architecture, which help like to design like a new features into the VM level in an easier way. Because now we have the register base instead of a stack base, and then we have the multi-language support, not just Solidity, but it's also like Rust-based language or any kind of language that can be compiled into like RSC5. So let's say like Python's or like C++, any kind of language that can be compiled to RSC5 can be deployed on Polka VM. So like launch, it's gonna be reviewed alongside of REVM in December 2025 and optimized for the Polkadot Rust-gen features. Then the future innovation path going to be applied as well. So like both VMs run to like the Pilot Revive, a unified smart contract framework, and like dual VMs equal to like Ethereum capability today, and plus like the Polkadot innovation tomorrow. Now for the Polkadot Hub network, so like the smart contract platform on Polkadot. So what is the Polkadot Hub? We already cover it in like another workshop, but yeah, just quick go through. So like it's a dual VM architecture blockchain. It's like fully EVM compatible, launching on December. It's using like all the features of EVMs, Ethereum's, and also like native like substrate, native like Polkadot CDK. Now for like the development environment overview, we can have development environment. We can have like Node.js, VS Code, DevContainer, Foundry, Hardhat, Scaffold DOT, Wallet and MetaMask, and RPC configuration. These tools are needed. And these are also like some spec that you can reference to develop before we go to like the main development guideline. Now for the base setup, first you're gonna like install Node.js. These are requirements if you want to start like developing a smart contract. Then maybe you can also consider like installing Yarn. And I think like for Git is like a must-have, but like most of the time you're gonna need Git, so like recommend to do that. And next one would be the VS Code. Right now I'm using like Cursor AI IDE, but like you can also like consider just using VS Code, and that's good enough. Then we gonna want for like the DevContainer. So like how to set up like DevContainer. So what is the DevContainer? DevContainer or like smart contract DevContainers or is like a Polkadot template as ready to call a DevContainer for building, testing, deploying smart contract for Polkadot using like either Hardhat or like Foundry. And it includes like Polka VM toolings, a local dev node, RPC adapter, key management helpers, and opinionated default to get you like productive fast. So like what's inside the DevContainers is included Hardhat preset, where like it's when you bootstrap the DevContainer, you can also like have the Hardhat configures for your like DevContainer. Foundry install like using like Foundry up, Polkadot, include like other COIs like Forge, Cache, Anvil, for the local node toolings, so like dev node and RAPC binary available in like the containers for the Poker VM development. So like in key management, you also like have the subkey pre-install first attached to like auto create import a dev like ECD SA key for testing and write into the Hardhat of Foundry. And DevTool, convenient DevTool COI for initializing the project, setting up the container, key pair, and checking balances. So all these are like include in like one single dev container where you just run like one simple command, and then you have a dev container set up. Then you can start like working, start like building on Polkadot. And you also here's like some guideline for using like Hardhat, Foundry, then how to like interact with like, the account, like check balance or like set up dev container, set up key pair, initialize Hardhat or Foundry, or like check the balance. Yeah, so that's like the idea of the dev container. Very simple. Now there's another materials on the official Polkadot documentations where you can find the guidelines for like building on Polkadot. We also have the material for like PokerVM EVMs or like even like Rust written in ink. And let's say we need like some toolings, and some tooling, if you go to the development environment here, you can find a remix IDE, Hardhat, Foundry. All these are like materials for you to build on Polkadot. So like if you need like to set up like remix, you can go to the remix IDE. You can also like find some guidelines to like deploy NFT using like remix IDE, or like deploy ERC20 using like remix IDE. And yeah, so like there's also guideline like create a new contract. Yeah, how to deploy the contract, how to compile and deploy the contract. And there's also like a tutorials here where you can also reference some like contract samples. Then we have the Hardhat. So like what is Hardhat? The Hardhat is the library that allow you to have a robust development environment for Ethereum compatible change that make like smart contract development more efficient. This guy walk you through like the essential of using Hardhat to create, compile, test, and deploy smart contract on Polkadot hubs. For Foundry, it's basically also similar to Hardhat, but it just depend on like what kinds of tool that you're familiar more. You're gonna use that one. So like for Hardhat, you can also follow the guys here. The difference would be you're gonna configure the resources, compiler source, and also like the Polka VM for that Hardhat. So like with the flags, it's gonna enable like Hardhat for like Polkadot compatibilities. Yeah, so like that's the guy. And we also like attach these into like the material slide, and you can like reference them. For Foundry, so what's the Foundry? Foundry is a fast, modular, and extensible toolkit for Ethereum applications development written in Rust. So like it provides a suite for like command line tools, including Forge for like compiling, testing, and deploying smart contract, and Cast for like interacting with blockchain. The Foundry Polkadot is an adaptation explicitly engineered for like Polkadot hubs. Tyler for like developers already familiar with Foundry who seek to leverage its capabilities within the Polkadot ecosystem. And additionally, this guide offers detailed information on the Forge and Cast commands supported within the Foundry Polkadot, complete with a simple runnable example for quick reference. And we also have the guides, and you can see it's similar to like the way that you interact with a Hardhat, where we have a command to like set up, compile, deploy, and yeah, also like some like additional like Forge commands or like Cast command that you can use to interact with like contract APIs and or like even like chain development or smart contract development. Now let's go back. So we go to the DevContainer, Foundry, Hardhat, and there's also another tool called like the Scaffold DOT. So like what is the Scaffold DOT? In Ethereum, we have a tool called the Scaffold DOT, where it allows you to build any kind of like application on Ethereum in a very fast way. And for example, like it's basically a boilerplate where you install on your local. Then you can also like have a smart contract integrated, some smart contract readers, connect a wallet, debug a contract, something more. And then like common web components in Tailwinds, this Daisy UI. And the Scaffold DOT is basically the white label versions that is made for Polkadot development. So go to Scaffold DOT. Yeah, so like this version is made by myself. basically like fork the versions of Ethereum's Scaffold DOT, and then like I tune it into be like Scaffold DOT, like become like dot compatible, and then like connect. You can like connect using the MetaMask, and this is like by default connect to like the testnet of Polkadot. So this help you to like basically what Scaffold DOT provide you, Scaffold DOT also provide you. So simply like install the boilerplate and you can have it ready. Now go back to the slide to run like Scaffold DOT. You can like go to the Hardhat package, yarn change to have like the local change setup. Then you like deploy the contract. Also like go to the Hardhat, yarn deploy, and start the front end in the same way. Go to like Next.js, yarn dev, very simple. And then you can go to a localhost or like local or like connect to the Hardhat network. Guild, we also provide materials for you to learn about like Scaffold DOT. Here is also like using the same tool. Like as you can see right here, we have Scaffold DOT setup where you can see like the new block produced on local, and you can also like interact with like these blocks. And yeah, that's the idea of the Scaffold DOT. Now for wallet setup, you can like install a MetaMask, and then I think like Polkadot networks or like this Polkadot network, you can add like the parcel asset hubs. And I think that's also like cover like pretty much like everything's in like today videos. And I think like you hope that you already like get the idea of like what tools that you can use to develop on like Polkadot Hub.